Hi guys, good morning. I hope everybody is having a wonderful Wednesday. It's Miss Stormy, in case you forgot my name. Did you know that today is National Apple Pie Day? Yay! Who likes apple pie? Me. I love it. It's really good. And doesn't take a lot of ingredients to make. So maybe one of you want to make apple pie today. That would be fun, right? I am going to read Annie, the Apple Pie Fairy. Looks like a good book. I like the illustrations. This is the front cover. So this is the back cover, and this has to be what? What is this? It's the spine. Holds all the pages together. This book used to belong to my daughter, and she was kind enough to donate it to me so that I can read it to you. This is our title page. It has pretty much all the same information as the front cover. It's showing that Tim Bugbird and Lara are the author/illustrators. What does an author do? Who knows? What does an author do? An author writes the words, and a word is a group of letters that are stuck together. So if the author writes the words, the illustrator must be the person that draws the pictures. Okay, so you ready to read? Are you ready to listen while I read? Here we go. Once in a wood by a bubbling brook, up high in an old apple tree, lived a fairy named Annie, a famous cook who baked apple pies on TV. Oh, so she's a fairy and she just makes apple pies. Apple pies all day long on the TV. Look at our house. What does it look like? An apple pie. How cute is that? She had her own show for years and years with her best friends, Pip and Cora. Every show ended with whoops and cheers. The fairies simply adored her. That means they really, really liked Annie, the apple pie fairy. All Annie's pies were made with care, simply, and with nothing wasted. Whether with berries or pecans and pears, they were the best you've ever tasted. Then one day, the TV screens turned a little glary. In a blaze of color, a new face appeared. Sandra, the strudel fairy. Sandra's style was fancy. Her pies were never plain. The fairy switched to Sandra's show, time and time again. Ooh, Sandra looks pretty fancy. Pip declared, Chef Sandra will beat us if we let her. So we must do what Sandra does, but do it much, much better. Sandra thinks that she's the top, said Cora with a frown. We'll have to pull out all the stops to win back your baking crown. Competition. And so between the TV chefs, there arose a competition. To make fancy pies and be the best became each fairy's mission. Every pie the rivals made was fabulously fashioned, with toppings and twirls so high they swayed. Decoration was never rationed. Inside Annie's and Sandra's homes, the sound you always heard was the clatter and clunk of gadgets, which became ever more absurd. Absurd is kind of a fancy word for silly. They had machines for cutting, slicing, peeling, dicing, flaking, shaking, beating and breaking, rolling, molding, chopping, folding, whipping, mixing, brushing, and fixing. Oh my goodness, look at all of that. Looks pretty complicated. Definitely does not look simple. Soon every fairy across the land was following Sandra's trend. Bigger, better, never bland, wherever would it end? The machines made every kind of thing in every shape and size, but nobody seemed to notice. Not one made apple pies. They're forgetting about the apple pies. How can they forget about apple pie? But still the gadgets pinged and popped. with whirls and purrs and clangs, until the night when everything stopped with a flash and a deafening bang! Uh-oh, I wonder what happened. What do you think happened? Should we read to find out? Okay. The fairies had a big surprise. Their power had totally blown. Feeling scared, they took to the skies and flocked to Annie's tree home. Pip found candles to light the scene and slippers to warm their feet. But with nothing to power their cooking machines, what would the poor fairies eat? Cora peered inside the pantry. Annie joined her in despair. As far as either one could see, there was next to nothing there. Just apples and butter and sugar and flour. Doesn't seem like a lot of ingredients, does it? I don't know. What could they make with that? Annie sighed and said to Sandra, I think things got out of hand. We forgot what matters in the end. We just didn't understand. Now I know what we should do. We must bake an apple pie. We'll add a spoonful of loving, the ingredient money can't buy. She's right, you know. The pie was made the old-fashioned way, tasting sweet, just as it should. Sandra said, let's not compete, and apple pie was back for good. Annie and Sandra worked together and saw their friendship grow as they started with Pip and Cora on their brand new TV show. So that was good. You don't have to compete with everybody to be the best. You can work together as a team, right? A team is a group of people who work together. Maybe a sports team or an apple pie team. So who's going to make an apple pie today? I have some apples. I think I have flour and sugar and butter. Maybe I'll make an apple pie. It'd be something fun to do, right? But I hope you liked the story. Maybe later I'll try to draw the parts of an apple and we can work on that a little bit. But I love you all. Hope you have a fabulous day and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.